All right, welcome to the Ringer Gambling Show, Friday edition. Cousin Sal here, Anthony Dabbundo here, Danny Heifetz not here. Dabbundo, what happened? Should we
I
expect the
think he might
worst
have
here?
went too hard this week at Core Week.
He did.
Well,
I'm
first he
ge-
skipped for Dublin.
right.
Now he's skipping today. He's
Yeah, yeah.
traveling.
How many sick days do you get in September, October? This feels like a big time of year.
Maybe he doesn't like us.
Oh, now I'm seeing he got picked up for running an illegal Keno tournament with G Leaguers. That's bad. That's bad. Okay, well, he'll be back with us next week. Who knows? Maybe he won't. No, he's flying. This core week is some racket. It's like no, I'm flying. I'm done. I can't make that. I can't. Why? There's no other flights during the day. Honestly, if I were him, I would have left right after that Giants loss on Sunday. We watched with him. That was brutal, and all cameras were on him, more than even the kicker for Denver. Ridiculous.
This is the Ringer Gambling Show presented by FanDuel, and if you're betting on the NFL, FanDuel's the place to do it. They've got everything. Same game parlays, quick bets for when you want to jump in live and your way so you can set your own lines. The app's fast, it's easy to use, and best of all, when you win, you get paid out instantly. Download the FanDuel app or go to FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. Must be 21 and older and present in select states or 18 and older in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
Everybody was enjoying basking in the glory of his demise.
Yeah.
It was rough. I felt bad for him, but you know what? He's used to it at this point.
Yeah, that's
The
it.
problem
That's
was
what's
he started hoping in the beginning because you were there. The third quarter, he was so excited. He was pacing around the theater. He's looking around like, I can't believe this. This is amazing. And then you just kept every few minutes being, hey, Heifetz, Broncos are 13-1.
right.
Hey, Heifetz, Broncos are 6-1. Hey, Heifetz, Broncos are -110.
Yeah, I would
funny.
sarcastically yell out the live odds for the Broncos, not thinking that they even had a chance, but just to be fun. I don't know what I was trying to be, but every
Should've bet
other
it.
play, you're right. Damn it, 13-1 would have been nice. You guys had a good time out there. I saw you went to Major Dormo, you and Heifetz.
We did.
Nice.
Excellent meal. Way too much food. I left feeling like I didn't need to eat again for 3 more days, and I actually haven't eaten since. I'm still full.
It's a
from that
great
meal. It was
spot.
excellent.
Did Chang charge you for the meal? Did you had to pay, right?
Heifetz picked up the tab.
Okay, good.
All of his
Good.
gambling winnings, he picked up the tab. For.
Okay, yeah. See, that's why he's being investigated. All right, listen.
He
Lot
actually
to
just
talk
wanted the
about.
credit card points.
Thursday night football. We're gonna preview our 107 picks. They've been delightful. We were 3-2 last week. We should probably just stop. It's not gonna get better than that for us. World Series Game 1 picks, World Series picks, college football, handy clipping. We're going to dive into this gambling scandal. My goodness. Very sad. Poor Simmons does a 4-hour podcast on over-under win totals, and then the season doesn't even last 4 hours. Canceled. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. No, it's not canceled, but we'll get into that. You had a crazy day being the lone gambling talking head there at the Ringer in the Ringer offices yesterday, right? Everybody wanted to know your opinion, Dabbundo.
Yeah, they're like, oh, so what do you think of all this? And, have to go into my canned speech, my 30 seconds on how the difference between players literally fixing games, which has been a problem for the entire history of this nation, so long as there have been sports and so long as Las Vegas has existed and so long as there is betting, versus a different argument, which is how much sports betting should be in our lives as sports fans. So people like to conflate the two to kind of push certain agendas, and I get it. But there's also an element of this is now easier to catch.
Right.
In 2008, when somebody was betting offshore at some random sports book in Costa Rica, you weren't able to maybe get down as much money, but you were able to easily sweep it under the rug. Nobody knew what was really happening. So this is part of the regulation where sports books are now reporting, information that's not public and making it public. And now we're getting investigations. People are getting caught, and hopefully it's a deterrent for future people to try to rig sports games, which is obviously problematic.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there are some that are still getting away with it, but it would seem like because of what you said, the AI and whatever, everything the sports books have invested in trying to catch the bad guys cheating, it just doesn't work. Also, people are dumb about it. Like you're betting thousands on Terry Rozier unders and then betting nothing else for the night. Like it's just going about it. I'm not going to tell you how you should do this, but there is a way to do this. But anyway, you're right. Hopefully, this stops when you realize you can't get away with it.
And the
One
thing
guy,
is,
yeah,
the thing is, like, yes, there's an element of, it's more accessible to people, so people are more likely to get ensnared in it. But we have so much evidence that people, like, gambling didn't just begin in 2018. So I get the point. I think there's very separate conversations we can have about this, but the one that people are making now in the last 2 days about Chauncey Billups and Jonte Porter and Terry Rozier, it's a vastly different conversation, and one that I think will continue to keep happening. And so we're going to have to keep having these conversations, which means that people are going to keep asking me for my opinion on
yeah, you
players
better have
fixing
an
games.
opinion.
I think it's bad. Do you think it's bad?
What, did people ask for your opinion?
No,
Yeah,
no,
I don't
people
think
fix
anyone.
games.
I don't think you need to. You got, of course, it's bad. But I don't think. I hope that it's a deterrent when everybody gets busted. But one thing that remains constant is that guys who make a lot of money from sports, first of all, they'll always have the itch, A, to gamble. A lot of them, it's just how it is, and B, some of them will always get involved with the wrong crowd and owe large amounts of money to the bad people. And then that's when you have to make deals, right? It doesn't matter if you made $40 or $40 million in your career. If you owe someone who's going to break your thumbs, and you don't have $1 million liquid to give them because it's all in the house, it's all in the car, it's all in the jeweler's pocket, you're going to have to think quick on your feet and do something like this. So I don't know that it goes away. I know the sports books are doing a nice job of doing what they can to make sure this comes out from underneath, out from underground for sure.
Yeah, it's hard enough to beat the house as a gambler. It's even harder to try to trick the house into not thinking you have inside information or that you're involved in match fixing. So good luck to the people who are trying that. You're going to keep getting caught.
That's
it. That'll be that.
Yeah. And listen, let's celebrate the good moments in sports, like Joe Carter's home run in '93 to beat the Philly. Oh, sorry, Dabbundo. Sorry.
You were alive for that one.
You weren't alive, right? You were almost alive? Yeah.
Nope. Not even close. Parents
Not
weren't
even close.
married yet.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable. All right, I interviewed Joe Carter, and we talk about your parents and you and how devastating that would have been to you guys had you been watching. But that'll come at the end of the episode. Let's talk first. Minnesota at the Chargers, 37-10. LA covers the 3.5 easily. The over 44.5 hits not easily, but that was the only thing to really watch for towards the end. The crowd was lively and vocal, I thought, for the Chargers. Tate Frazier has season tickets. He must have switched from gummies to speed because I really did feel like they did a nice job, the Chargers crowd. The uniforms were normal. Junior Seau can rest easy. The clown show is over for now. What'd you think, Dabbundo? Let's start with the pick six that was called back because the ball moved slightly when it hit the ground. And I loved it because I was all over the Chargers. But is it a different game if the Vikings are up 7-0 and Herbert's like playing a little scared starting in the middle of the first quarter?
Maybe. But I thought the funniest part of the game was the graphic they flashed in the third quarter. Rushing success rate. They put it up. Ruiz had me watching the Prime Vision, which, by the way, I'm out on the Prime Vision broadcast, but they have like the analytics and they showed rushing success rate. You want to guess what the Vikings rushing success rate was midway through the third quarter?
I don't even know what that, percentage? 16? I don't know.
It was
less
0.
than that. The zero's bad. It's worse than 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
We just watched on Sunday, the Chargers get run all over.
Right.
By the new 07 Patriots and the Indianapolis
You
Colts.
guys.
And now Minnesota couldn't run the ball a lick. So they kept getting Wentz into these 2nd and 10, 3rd and 11. That was never going to work. He kept getting sacked, and in obvious passing situations, that offense is dead.
Yeah, it was bad. And the Colts, they were due for a let's win and cover at home against a decent team, which I'm not even sure Minnesota's a decent team, but they marched right down after that. Pick six was called back. Your boy, Aronde Gadsden, plus 950 to score the first touchdown. I said he was the next Antonio Gates. You agreed with me, but then you turned your back on him after weeks and weeks and weeks of betting his over, and then you bet his under, and he hit the over in like middle of the first quarter. I don't know what happened to Bundo.
Well, Minnesota was supposed to be good against tight ends. That's what they told me. That's what the spreadsheet told me. It lied. I was tricked. And fooled and-
Ruiz told you. He tipped you off at a channel that only focused on tight ends and efficiency when
Who
they
knew?
played the Vikings. Yeah.
This is twice now that Herbert has dominated Flores. The first meeting was a couple years ago.
Right.
It was a very different Minnesota team, but back-to-back games where Flores has tried to bring pressure from different places, and Herbert's just been throwing it all over the yard. So,
Do you want to guess what the Vikings are to make the playoffs right now?
plus 300.
Plus 710.
Wow.
I mean, I know they're 3-4 and it's uphill. And it's not even like, well, when they get their starting quarterback back, like who even knows with JJ McCarthy? And we do know with Carson Wentz what we're going to get. But that didn't take long. Plus 710, 3-4. My goodness.
I mean, it seems like they don't trust JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
He has the highest ankle sprain I think I've ever seen.
It's pretty high. Yeah.
I mean, he's been out how long? 6 weeks?
Yeah. It's a lot, and he was cleared by now. There's all the medical community is feuding with former athletes and everything. But having been cleared by the doctor, it is the coach's decision at this point, and they make him the emergency quarterback, right? So he's good to go, but he's not good to go. I don't know. Maybe more will come out on that. But let's talk Chargers here. Plus 280 to win the division now. Is that disrespectful? They're 5-3, right? I'm trying to keep track of the odd numbers and everything, but they're 5-3. The Chiefs are minus 110. Denver plus 240. Should they be behind Denver still at 5-3?
I would have to look at the schedule on that because they did already beat KC, whereas Denver hasn't even played them yet. So
right, they're
that's a
undefeated
pretty
in the
big
division.
advantage. They also
Yeah.
beat Denver.
Yeah.
I would probably prefer the I'm looking at the schedule now. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Philly home, at KC, at Dallas, at Denver to end the year. I mean, I think the Chargers offense, even with all the O-line injuries, is more reliable. And
Has
I'll
to
always
be.
bet on offense over defense. So I would
Yeah.
probably take the Chargers before I took Denver.
Yeah, and Denver's going to get a loss this week against Dallas. I mean, that's not even going to be close. We're going to talk about that in a second.
You're back?
No, not really. Fantasy breakout, Kamani Vidal, 23 for 117. Is he the next LaDainian Tomlinson? We already
I'm
said
gonna pass on that
Gadsden.
one.
Gadsden's the next Gates. I mean, man, why not? No, he had he
He
broke
had
off
10
a few
yards
good
against
ones.
the Colts.
He didn't have that many. That's right. He only had 10. 37 points, and Quentin Johnston had no targets, which sucked for me because I said his longest reception would be over 21.5 yards or something like that, and it was 0 yards. I lose on that because he stepped foot on the field. There's not a ton of
sure?
evidence of that. Right. Yeah.
sure he did?
I'm not sure. How does he get no targets when they have 37 points?
There's
Ridiculous.
too many for Gadsden. They don't need to
Yeah.
throw to anybody else. They got
That's
they
true.
got Antonio Gates.
That's true. Take October off. The rest
Did
of
you
October.
see the story about his dad,
Gadsden or Johnston?
Gadsden?
No, I didn't see it. No.
His dad owns him in like the fantasy football league that he plays in with his buddies, and he's had him on the bench for a month.
Oh, really? Oh, that's great.
And he said, "I can't start him now. It's bad luck if I put him in the lineup."
That's
And all of
almost
his
as bad
buddies
as,
in
as
the
what
league
you
have been
did.
making fun of him because they're like, "What? You don't even start your own son?"
Right? Why did you draft him? So it was good luck to draft him, but bad luck to play him.
Right.
It's crazy how people's minds work. All right. World Series. Let's do it. Minus 230. Dodgers favored plus 190 to take back on the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll get to our series picks in a minute. Let's look at game one tonight. Dodgers minus 154 on the road where they have not lost in the playoffs as a visiting team. Blue Jays plus 130. Dabbundo, you don't have a lot of faith in the rookie hurler for Toronto.
It's pretty amazing, just as a baseball story,
Yeah.
for a guy to go from single A to game one World Series starter in the same year. I would bet money that that's never happened in the
Right.
history of the baseball. Pretty amazing. I don't think FanDuel offers odds on that, but now it's a tricky matchup. So I looked into this and I wrote a piece for the Ringer that's up now. It's basically the matchups that hidden matchups that will decide the World Series. And so I wanted to look because Gausman and Savage throw a ton of splitters. And the question was, how do the Dodgers do against splitters? Unsurprisingly, they do very well. Their whiff rates are some of the lowest in the league against it. Ohtani has pretty good numbers, but Freeman and Betts have excellent numbers. Teoscar Hernandez, not as much. But Savage has played a pretty high strikeout lineup with the Yankees and then the Mariners in these playoffs. The Dodgers strike out a lot less. And the walk rate, I think, is going to be a problem. I mean, he has walked a ton of guys this year, and the command is not great. So I think Savage could struggle in game 1 today. I like under 5.5 strikeouts, -120.
Well, I think we have to first figure out if his father is starting him on his fantasy baseball team. That's the only
True.
way we're going to know how well he performs here. Yeah, okay. It's so funny because with my pick, Snell over 6.5 strikeouts, I'm using exactly the same reasoning, but drawing a different conclusion. Like Snell went against in his first 2 series lineups that do strike out more often than the Blue Jays. But let's look at these numbers. 6.5, first of all, is the over-under for strikeouts. He's gone over this number in all 3 playoff appearances and 5 out of the last 6 starts overall. The Dodgers are fresh, so even if he's struggling, I think he gets to that 7th inning. Only one time in the last 10 starts where he didn't come out for the 6th. 10, 9, and 9 were his last 3 strikeout counts. We said the Blue Jays don't strike out, but against Toronto, the bats are 15 for 66 with 18 strikeouts. Springer whipped 4 times in 22 at bats against Snell over his career. I think he's good for at least 1 per inning. Do you think 6.5 is right there? You think he's going to be right there at 6 or 7, or are we going to look at another 9 strikeout performance from Snell?
I don't want to bet against Blake Snell right now.
There you go.
No way. The way he's pitched, the fastball command. I mean, the story with the joke with Snell for years was, oh, he's a 5 and diver. Maybe he gets 6 innings. Has not been the case this year. Since September, he's been going deeper into games, much more efficient. Fastball command, like I said, has been better. Jay's super aggressive lineup, which, yes, in theory means he might not get as many strikeouts, but it also means he's going to get quicker outs, so he'll likely go deeper into the game. So it kind of works both ways.
Well, I don't know. I need strikeouts. I don't care about deeper in the game. I can't have him
If he
going
throws 8, if he throws
13
7,
innings and 4 strikeouts. No, I can't do that. But yeah, no, you're right. Yes.
No
1
interest in
strikeout
betting
per inning.
against Snell.
Let's
No
do
way.
And plus money on that too, over 6.5. All right, let's do the series here. You and I have the same pick. I may have stolen it from you. You mentioned probably last week at this time, or maybe the Dodgers weren't even in the World Series yet. -1.5 games. Get you at -116. So that's 4-0, 4-1, or 4-2. Tell us why this. I mean, I was looking at all the pitching matchups. I feel like if it gets to Scherzer and Ohtani game 4, the Blue Jays have to be up 2-1 at that point to have a chance, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's no matchup. That's the thing about this Dodgers team with the rotation pitching the way they are.
Yeah.
And I pulled up some of the numbers. 30% strikeout rate since August. In the playoffs, the rotation has a 33% strikeout rate. Anything above 30 is considered an ace. So their whole staff is like an ace level starter. Good luck to Toronto. I mean, I think the bullpens both stink. I mean, I'm looking at it. Even in the playoffs where we've been like, oh, the Dodgers bullpen hasn't been as bad as we thought. Their ERA is 4.8 in the playoffs, but Toronto's is 5.2.
Right.
Toronto's given up more home runs than any team in the last 10 years in playoff baseball with at least 6 games played. So I don't trust either bullpen, but the massive pitching advantage is hard to ignore.
Yeah, it all kind of falls on Louis Varland, right? That's Schneider's number 1 guy out of the pen, but
Hoffman,
I just
the closer. I know Simmons texts every time in the group chat. He says, "Oh, this Blue Jays closer."
Simmons he's jinxed the Blue Jays like to no end here. Like I had them on my fantasy team. He was terrible. Blue Jays are terrible. They shouldn't even be in the playoffs. Like, yeah, they just mowed down everyone. But yeah, you're right. I mean, these Dodgers 64, the big 4, Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani, and Glasnow, 64 and a third, 1.4 ERA in the playoff. I mean, Glasnow's the one though, right? If they were going to get to, I mean, I guess you could say Yamamoto's young and that, okay, so then maybe the moment's too big. 1 earned run in 13 innings for Glasnow. Forget it. And then you can make Sasaki a dominant closer. Not good. So
Not
yeah,
good
I'm
if
with
you're
you.
Toronto.
I'm with you on
Pretty good
minus
if you're the
1.5. Yeah, for sure. So that's 4-0, 4-1, and 4-2 we're all looking at. Now let's do our MVP. I like your pick. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Yeah, we talked about it on Wednesday. I took some Snell 20-1. I mean, if they do end up winning in 5, it probably means he pitched 2 starts, game 1 and game 5. I like the matchup for them in both. The Blue Jays are worse against lefties. Marginally, it's not a huge gap, but they are worse against lefties. So if you were looking at, okay, which game might they struggle the most, could be game 1 and game 5 against Snell, who's a lefty. So I took MVP there.
Yeah.
you could pick any of these Dodgers hitters to go off. Yeah, Otani, but the odds are no good. You could say it could be Freddie, could be Mookie. Trying to pick which hitter is going to go off is kind of tough. I know Blake Snell's going to make 2 starts. I'm pretty confident at least. And so we'll see how that goes.
So the good thing is you could do this like roulette, right? You're going to get pretty nice odds on 2, 3 players if you avoid Otani, right? So, and I know everyone's in love with Otani now. Great. We'll never see anything like we saw last Friday, but they did win 2 series without him being very productive, right? So they could do it again. And if his game 4 start is ho-hum, then they win or lose. I like odds on any of these guys. By the way, Freeman, before they even made the World Series, was 10-1 to win the World Series MVP. He's 16-1. So for a guy who gets so hot so late in October, we saw it just a calendar year ago. That's good value. I would take 3. I would take Snell. I'd take Freeman, and I'd take Mookie as my third, also at 16-1. And then you're leaving yourself exposed if the Dodgers win and it's Otani or Teoscar Hernandez. Basically, those are the pitfalls there. But nothing wrong with taking, like, I know Max Muncy, all these guys could kind of come through, but nothing wrong with taking 3 Dodgers if one of them's not Otani. Is that good strategy?
Freddie Freeman this year against splitters. We talked about the splitter. 602 slugging percentage. The Blue Jays' top 2 starters and their closer all use splitters pretty heavily.
Okay. So that's bad. Yeah.
Well, but good for Freddie.
Again, good
bad
for Freddie.
Toronto. We keep saying
exactly.
Bad if you're Toronto. It's hard to make I was going through the whole thing trying to figure out where does Toronto have an edge here. I came up with 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Defense. They are the best defense in the league. The second one is pitch framing.
Right.
Alejandro Kirk, number 2 pitch framer. Will Smith, second to last. So, maybe they'll get some calls.
It comes down to pitch framing. Yeah.
You never know.
This is what the FanDuel's worried about. All the pitch framing's bad, right? Just in general, unless it's pitch framing. The third thing I would say is, Vlad could potentially have the greatest postseason of all time, right? Is that enough for them to win 4 games? Maybe not. We'll see. But all right. So there's ours. You know what I'm going to do, Dabbundo? I'm going to give you a free World Series bet. If you could, I'm going to give you some World Series history trivia here. All right. $100 free World Series bet. It's kind of World Series trivia. Okay. 2 players are in the Hall of Fame with a 0 batting average, and you were alive to see one of them. And then the other played for a world championship Blue Jays team.
A 0 batting average?
0 batting average. Only 2 in the Hall of Fame.
So never got a hit.
Batting.
So it has to be a pitcher, obviously.
Well, or just a really lucky, like, base on balls guy in the 1890s.
If you walked every at bat for your whole career, would you get in the Hall of Fame?
I think you would have to. That's Moneyball right there.
Okay, so a pitcher.
I give you a pretty good hint. Yeah. I mean, you're kind of a historian, right?
Dodgers. No? It's not a Dodger or Blue Jay.
Well, one was a Blue Jay.
Okay, the second one was a Blue Jay.
Yes.
I feel like it would have to be an American League pitcher because the National League, you'd have to luck into a hit at some point.
Yeah.
American League pitcher that never got a hit. I don't even know where to start with this. I'll go Andy Pettitte.
All right, same team. Mikey Meatballs, are you there? You want to jump in here? Same team as Andy Pettitte. It's going to make sense when you hear it. Nobody knows?
There's no way it's CeCe because he played in the National League and he's not even. Is he even in the Hall yet?
He's in, right?
He's in?
He's in. Yeah. All right, forget it. This went nowhere. Mariano Rivera.
Oh, right. Because he would never bat.
Right.
Why did I think of that?
And Jack Morris. I mean, you should know the name Jack Morris, but anyway.
I know the name. I wouldn't
give you the tip with the Blue Jays. All right, well, that's it. The $100 you don't get. I get to keep that.
It's all right. I'll bet $100 on the Dodgers. And
I'll put more on our MVP bets. All right, let's take a quick break. Oh, then we got NFL, R107, riding high off a 3-2 week. We'll be right back. All right, today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel. Ringer Fantasy went 4-1. They're 18-17 for the lead. That's Heifetz's team. And he's off celebrating. He won't even do the show. So they're tied for first with Bodega Locks. And we were 3-2. We're 16-19. Okay, we're 2 games back. I feel like we've been pretty bad, I would say. Like pretty bad luck, pretty bad everything. But to be 2 games out, we could take this. It's 3rd week in October, right? I'm feeling okay with the handle we have on some of these teams, at least.
And there's nowhere to go but up.
Well, that's not true. And
No,
especially
I'm thinking positively.
especially when I'm leading off with the Houston Texans -1.5. I love this pick so much. Dabbundo, you wanted to use a veto against this. And then I think you realized I'm hitting at a 35% clip myself. Who am I to veto? I assume that's what happened, right? Something like
Well,
that.
I figure if we're just going to flip coins all year, who am I to say, hey,
Right.
Then I looked at the Niners' defensive injuries and I said, maybe we just, yeah. I mean, the
Well-
Texans have been we've made jokes about this team all year on the Sunday show. Last year, I was against them a lot. I don't love the Texans,
Yeah.
but I do understand the spot and the matchup for their offense. So I was like, you know what? A veto only if I was confidently on the other side would I veto, and I'm certainly not betting the Niners this week. So let's ride.
It's probably a rat line at best and a stay away. 2-4 versus 5-2, and the 2-4 is laying points, 1.5, whatever. And the Texans offense, we all saw it Monday, was as pathetic as it could have looked. But I'm banking on the scoring defense. 14 points a game, allowed the fewest touchdowns, 11. What was it going to be? Mac Jones, I think it's Mac Jones at this point, right?
Yeah.
And so I think they created a mess for him. Donnell Hunter, Will Anderson, 8 sacks and a ton of pressures. And this is from the Action Network. I think I read this the other day. Since Christmas of 2023, 49ers 1-13 against the spread after a straight up win, failing to cover the spread by 7.5 points per game. That's why earlier in the week, I took Houston, crazy bet, -9.5. Listen, I had San Francisco as my best bet last week. I'm in sync with this team. The defensive injuries, you talked about it. Bryce Huff now watching from the sidelines. I think they lay an egg on the road. Your boy Woody Marks breaks a couple big runs. For 107, we just need them to win by 2. I really love this. It's so bad, this bet, that it can't lose. 27-13 Texans.
My thing here is like we've seen the Texans when they get pressured. The offense completely dies. I mean,
Yeah, San
Seattle,
Francisco said they're not going to do that this week.
They're not going to
gonna
go
pressure.
after him. Yeah,
No, yeah.
they're
Right.
passing on the pass rush.
That's it.
But
All right.
they can't get pressure. Since Bosa got hurt, they are dead last in pressure rate.
Yeah.
And the guy that has had the highest pressure rate since Bosa got hurt is Huff, and he's out.
Mm-hmm.
So they have Sal at the end and Joe House on the other side rushing the passer.
Right.
I don't like their chances of getting to Stroud, even with some turnstile offensive linemen. They can't even get through the turnstiles. So, I mean, Nico Collins isn't going to play. So,
Yeah.
the Iowa State receiving core out there. But I think the best unit on
it's
the
a
field is
must-win.
what? The Houston defense?
It's a must win for Houston. If you believe that, everybody who picked them to win the AFC South, and that's most people before the season, now they're -400 to make the playoffs even. So if you think there's any
miss the
life in
playoffs.
them to miss the playoffs, if there's any life in them at all, it has to start this week. They have to win. Okay. I don't feel as bad about my Houston pick when you're going to follow up with the Jets.
The New York Jets +6.5. I was worried you might veto. Did you think about a veto?
No, I think it's just bad luck to veto unless we're really real. I don't know what would have to happen, but because then it wins and the I told you so's get in there.
Right.
Let's
then
just
there's
be
some
on record.
dissension,
Right.
start to be like, oh,
Yeah, the
what's
last
Sal
thing we
doing?
need is dissension. Yeah.
Yeah, no dissension.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, we did the show last Wednesday, right? With Joe House.
Mm-hmm.
And Pittsburgh was in Cincinnati laying 6.
Yeah.
Now the Jets are in Cincinnati catching 6.5. Do you really think if Pittsburgh played the Jets tomorrow on a neutral field, God forbid that game ever were to happen
Mhm.
again, that the
Yeah,
game
again.
would be 12?
Right.
That's what this market says here. And look, I get it. The Jets, we got the owner saying we can't, if we could just complete a few passes, we would be right there. I get it. But this Cincinnati defense, and if Hendrickson doesn't go, everybody moves up and down the field on them
Mm-hmm.
with relative ease. Pittsburgh last week had the highest success rate of any team that played in week 7. That was they had a higher success rate than the Colts,
Right.
who scored on every drive. So this defense can't get pressure. They can't get to the quarterback. They can't cover. They can't tackle. They can't stop the run. The Jets, for all of their flaws the last 2 weeks, they did play good defenses. Carolina's
Mhm.
defense grades out well. Denver's an elite defense. We've seen, it's not like the Jets haven't moved the ball this year in any games. They
Right.
scored 30 plus on Pittsburgh they scored, they had 400 yards against Miami. When they played the really bad defenses, they have moved the ball. So 6.5. I mean, this is crazy for Joe Flacco.
Well,
2
what
weeks
would it have
ago, he
been
was-
2
he was-
weeks ago? That's exactly what I was going to say.
Right.
2 weeks ago, what would this line have been? I get
3. The look ahead was 3.5.
right with Flacco. Let's even think
With
like
Flacco.
before, because I think there's a lot of value sucked out of the Cincinnati since that Steelers win. I get they have the extra rest now Thursday night. That's very bright in everyone's memory, vivid. And the Jets, I got to say, a lot of these owners are clueless. But for Woody Johnson to say, yeah, we have to complete passes, that makes me think that he kind of knows what's going on here.
He
I
has
have-
identified the problem.
Yes, exactly. That's step one.
That's step 1.
All right. I wish this went to 7. I wish it went to 27, but 6.5, we'll take it. They have to start. They have to come close in some of these games.
I'm
It has
confident
to
no
be.
other team will have the Jets this week too.
Do you want Ty Taylor in there? I do.
I'm good with Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah, and they won't. They're being cagey about it. They haven't made the decision, right? Also, he's a little banged up. So
Historically, he's been good against the spread.
Right. Okay. Jets
Take
plus
that way
6.5.
you may. They're often big underdogs too. So, throw them in there.
Right.
We'll see.
Okay, so CJ Stroud looked like a freaking prize pick compared to Ty Taylor, and now what I'm going with there, Spencer Rattler, Saints plus 4.5. Again, the inferior quarterback. Or is he the inferior quarterback? Baker Mayfield officially limited in practice because of a knee injury. Backup Teddy Bridgewater, teeth was the reason. Did not practice. Teeth. Imagine that.
Did he have a dentist appointment?
I don't know. Maybe bit into a Charleston chew the wrong way. I'm not sure. So anyway,
He bit Sal.
yeah, he did.
There was
That's the whole
a
thing
discussion
now.
at Ringer HQ this week. We're
Yeah.
obsessed. Jody Walker, Nora Princiotti. They covered a story this summer. I don't know if you know the story.
Go ahead.
There was a intern at some big law firm. She was a postgraduate or something, and she bit 10 of her colleagues
Mm.
before she was ultimately fired.
She got
Jody-
to 10, huh? I would think
Jo-
like 3 or 4 in this day and age would be enough.
At what point, if you're not bit yet, do you start to wonder what's wrong with you? Like, why didn't she bite me?
Right.
But-
exactly.
So Jody was going around the Ringer at our happy hour the other night, asking people on camera, if you could bite one person at the Ringer, who would it be?
hmm
Tate, JJ, both said you.
Really?
Your reaction.
I mean, it seems like a sexual thing they have.
No,
with me,
it
so
was
I don't know.
explicitly said in
Oh,
a non-sexual manner.
okay, non-sexual, but
Yes.
he deserves it thing. Not like, hey, good job, Sal. I'm gonna bite you on the shoulder. Yeah, it's like I want to hurt you. They want to hurt me. That's what it is.
Look, you have to ask them.
All right, I will ask them. We'll wait till the video comes out. I'm suing the Ringer and the Ringer Union. I don't know why, but I'm throwing them in there too. So Teddy Bridgewater, you think bit some of the players, and now that's why he didn't practice.
I'm not
Could
saying
be.
that, but I'm not saying that.
All right. I think these teams are, listen, we love Baker. We love what that offense does when it's clicking, but there are injuries, and the Saints hang defensively, at least with Tampa Bay. One team is 17th in the league, the other is 19th. The Saints actually are much better than Tampa against the pass, so maybe not another breakout game for Tez Johnson or whatever's going on. And if you look at Kellen Moore's squad, they've played 4 home games. 3 were 1-score games. The one that wasn't, they beat the Giants by 12. So Bucks on short rest, traveling to NOLA. It didn't help that the Bucks lost last week, at least historically under Todd Bowles, 10-29 straight up game after scoring under 20 points in a loss. A lot of that was Jets misfortune, but he's 4-9 straight up with the Bucks under that scenario. That's straight up. We're getting 4.5. May not need it. I'll say 21-19 Tampa, but I like the 4.5 here.
I mean, what happened to your guy Monday night?
Which one? I got
Baker.
a lot. Oh, I know. Well, he was due. He'll be all right. Did he move down in Ruiz's did you ask him? I mean, is it possible for him to move down in those rankings from
Should we pull him?
16?
Where do you think he's ranked right now?
I
I think he was 13th.
You're gonna put me in a bad mood. What, 13th? Go ahead.
Let's see.
You have them?
Pulling him
These
up.
are as of what, yesterday? or
Updated
something?
yesterday. Yep. Over under 15.5.
Well, I mean, I don't know why he would even move up, and I'll say he's 14th.
You got it.
So
14th.
stupid. And they give this guy money. They pay
A
him money.
flamethrower who lacks a second pitch.
This
Honestly,
Ruiz fella? Yeah. Honestly, why? He's not
14
14th best.
14 is low. But he did make a good point, which is that Baker is a red zone quarterback. So like you see all the crazy highlights and you're like, wow. But then down to down, it's like, oh man, he missed that throw. He missed that throw. He missed that throw.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I've been spending too much time with Reese this week. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you maybe have. Whatever. We're not going to go over the 14 that are, but just give me
All
nine,
right.
9
Next
through
one,
13. Give me
13,
9 through-
Jalen Hurts.
Okay, fine. Let's go. I
12,
mean,
Jaden
hold on.
Daniels.
Jalen Hurts is not a red zone quarterback. You effing kidding me? There's 14 touchdowns a year inside the 3-inch line because guys are shoving him. Who's 12?
Jaden Daniels.
Okay, fine.
11, Sam Darnold.
See, you
I think I'm taking Baker over Darnold.
You wouldn't rather have Darnold over Baker. You're just not being honest with yourself. I don't care. It's fine. I know.
10 is Goff.
All right.
9, Drake maybe.
No, it's dumb. That's just I need this paycheck. I'm gonna put him in the top 10.
He said they made a Gen Z version of Matt Stafford. 8, Jordan Love.
Not sure about that.
7, Stafford. 6, Burrow. 5, Prescott. 4, Herbert. I mean,
you got to keep Burrow in. I don't know. He's gonna be injured for 2 years, and he's gonna be in the top 5. Whatever. It's fine. I gotta get past it. Talk about my Cowboys, Dabbundo. That's our 4th pick.
do you like the Cowboys this week?
I think I do a little bit at 3.5, and that should concern you because as soon as I jump back on, that's when we do bad shit.
A Ringer employee said to me yesterday, I think Dallas might win the NFC East. And I said,
Yeah.
oh, did you listen to the
Right.
Wednesday show with Cousin Sal and Joe House?
Mhm.
He's like, what? Did you mention that? I said, we bet it. Or at least I bet it. Did you
We
bet
bet it. No.
Are you betting it?
No, I can't do the NFC East. I would maybe just have some fun with the playoffs, but then that's not fun either when they don't make it. But let's see what do you think they are to make the playoffs?
Plus 130.
Where are they here? Plus 270.
Oh, that's way too low.
That might be your way to
Although
go.
the NFC is pretty deep.
But if they're 9-8 or 9-7-1, is that what they would be? Is that what you're thinking for them to win the division, or even better?
9-7-1 could do it.
Or you're not
The
thinking
way-
10. You're thinking 10-6-1 at this point with this
I mean,
team.
the Eagles win against Minnesota didn't age very well this week.
Right. It's true.
And they got
Almost
outgained in the
nobody's
game.
wins age well. That's what's I'm learning about this league. But
Dallas's
all right,
wins are aging decently.
it's okay. Giants, fine. I mean, that loss against the Panthers just kills me, even though I know that could be a 4-win team next time we talk. But you like them plus 3.5 at Denver. Are people just too down on Denver after that Giants misery?
I mean, I've always been down on Denver all
Right.
year. Denver, I told you they might replace Houston for me as they can't keep getting away with this team. This offense only shows up for 8 minutes a game. Really hard to cover margin when that's the way you're playing. I also think they bring pressure and they play a lot of man. And Dak Prescott, say what you want about him over the course of his career, he's always been good against the blitz. He's always been good against man. They have Pickens who can go up and win in man coverage
Yeah.
and tight contested plays down the field. That's how you expose this Broncos team. They also aren't very great covering the middle of the field. Ferguson, I think, could have a big game. I mean, let's be honest about the Denver defense, too, at this point. This is who Denver's played. Tennessee, week 1, rookie Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Colts moved the ball all game on him,
Mm-hmm.
as they do to everybody. 29 points. Chargers had 29 first downs. Then they played Browning, the Eagles mess, and the two New York teams, which, by the way, the second of which scored 32 points.
Right.
So
Right.
this defense has certainly smothered the bad teams they played. Tennessee, Cincinnati, New York. But when they've played good offenses, Indy, the Chargers, those teams have moved the ball.
Yeah.
So I
So
think Dallas
if
will
Dak
that-
could
be
do
right
his
there.
thing, Dak, who is leading now odds-wise for comeback player of the year, if he could do his thing in the pocket, definitely should score enough points to cover this, if not win outright. I'm with you. That's the thing, though. Is he gonna get dinged up? Is this where they step up? They stepped up. I know everybody hated that London game too, but that defense was pretty freaking good. The only reason they were in it. So if we see that version of the defense, then I think things get sticky. But yeah, 3.5 might
At
be
3,
too much.
I would be like, probably not using
Yeah.
it, but 3.5.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's how I feel now with our 5th pick, Green Bay -3. Although, honestly, I would play the adjusted here. I think this could be a beating Sunday night at Pittsburgh. I think people are reading too much into the revenge factor for Rodgers, which
Agreed.
may or may not be there. But Rodgers doesn't play defense, and neither do the Steelers, barely. 28th overall, 31st versus the pass. They allow almost 260 yards per game. And it's to be expected when you match up against greats like Justin Fields, Carson Wentz, Dylan Gabriel, and Joe Flacco. I mean, think about that. They're 31st versus the pass, and those are, that's what, 67% of their schedule.
And Drake, maybe.
And Drake, maybe. I didn't want to list some of the Hall of Famers in there, but anyway. Plus, they're gonna have their hands full with Micah Parsons on the other end. Like Rodgers could have a decent game, but that 2.6 release seconds, whatever per pass, is gonna have to go down to 1.8. 3 sacks, 10 pressures last week for Micah. Rashawn Gary, 5.5 sacks. Quay Walker's one of the top tacklers in the league. I think it's another long day for the Steelers, long night, I guess. Pack could put up 40 against them. You know what? I'll round down 38-16 final. I think we're good here, Dabbundo, 5-0.
Yeah, I did a deep dive into Green Bay this week because as I famously had them rated first in the league last week, and then I watched them barely beat the Cardinals, and I was like, what's going on here? So I looked into it, and the first 2 weeks of the season, their defense was really, really good at getting quick stops, getting the ball back to their offense. Their offense has been explosive and efficient in every game except for Cleveland this year. Even against Cincinnati, even last week, the problem for them the last few weeks, their defense can't get off the field.
Yeah.
Green Bay's defense is the perfect combination right now of they're not giving up big plays, but they can't get off the field on third down. Every time they're playing these teams like Cincinnati and Arizona who are having these long, slow, methodical drives that are just killing the clock, shortening the game.
Right.
They have only had 8 possessions in the first half of the last 2 games combined. That is like nothing. So their offense is never on the field. So even though it scores and it's efficient, they got to, 28 points in both games, 27 points. That's been a problem for them. But it's almost all driven by third downs. Their third down defense has been a disaster. I think it'll turn around. I still believe in this Green Bay defense. But I bet over here too. I think over 44.5 is good for all the reasons you said. This is a huge mismatch. Green Bay's offense is so explosive. Pittsburgh hasn't stopped a good offense in a year. You go back to last year. Baltimore 3 times, all over them. Philly had one of their best games against Pittsburgh. You can go back to Kansas City on Christmas. You can go back to the Jets. Oh, wait, no, that's a bad offense. The Patriots moved the ball. They just kept fumbling. So everybody who plays them that has any pulse is going through them like a hot knife through butter. So I'll never be opposed to betting the Packers. Go Pack, go.
Well, we saw what Jamar Chase did, and the Packers don't have any Jamar Chases on their roster, right? But the fact is, they put 3 corners on that guy, and nobody could solve it. And, they have like 7 decent pass catchers, the Packers, right? They're getting a couple back from injury. So I don't know how you game plan against this with such a bad secondary anyway. So I think there's just too many points here. All right, so what do we have? We have Houston -1.5. We have the Jets +6.5, New Orleans +4.5, Dallas +3.5, and Green Bay -3. That is our Ringer 107, brought to you by FanDuel. Odds are subject to change. Why are the odds change? I never understood why the odds change. No, they do.
Because Simmons hasn't put his picks in yet.
Exactly. That's right. The graphic is subject to change. That's for sure. All right. So there you go. There's our 107. I like that batch. We could go over Heifetz, but I don't care. Right? I mean, his team plays the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a nice teaser team. I just don't think they're going to get stuffed twice in 3 weeks against the Giants. And that could be a free fall game for the Giants that we saw against Denver. What about your guys? Could you trip up a little? You're not going to lose the game, but do you have a 27-23 in you?
I bet the team total over.
Okay.
About as square as it gets to bet the highest projected team to go over their total for the week. I mean, we already watched this game. Cam Ward threw an early pick 6. Jonathan Taylor ran for 300 touchdowns. Their 2 best defensive players are out. Simmons and Snead are not playing.
Jesus.
They're playing the offense that just gets first downs with relative ease. They're explosive. They can't cover the middle of the field. They can't stop the run with Simmons. They definitely can't stop it without Jeffrey Simmons. So unless the Colts go up 30-0 and then pull everybody, and Riley Leonard comes in, and it's like, oh, when's that extra point coming? I feel like I'm pretty good here on that one. The Titans' offense is dead last in the league at getting first downs. So that's been the problem for the Colts. Like their defense is really not great. But Tennessee's not the team to take advantage of that. So I love
Yeah,
the
it
Colts
should be
over.
another nice game for Daniel Jones. We saw Drake maybe, connects on the long pass. He's probably one of the better ones in the league now against in that little zone there. But yeah, Titans secondary not good. Cam Moore just dropping back and dropping the ball for no reason, also not good. So you get those points built in to the to the equation. So 14.5 is all right. Let's do some player props here, Dabbundo. Now you won with Gadsden over 26.5 yards last week. You
But
went against them last night. That's okay. This is a new beast here, Sunday. What's your player prop?
well, unfortunately, Rondé Gadsden is not playing, so I don't know what to
Right.
do anymore. Like, what am I going to do with my life? But I'm going to go with Kamara over 22.5 receiving yards in the Saints Bucks game. I mean, we talked about uh, that game earlier in the 107. We like the Saints. I think if they have success offensively, Tampa likes to bring pressure, and they also give up a ton of receiving yards to running backs. We saw that last week with Gibbs over the course of the season. Barkley even had a good game against them in through the air. So
Mm-hmm.
as Rattler is pressured and panics and has to get the ball out, he's going to just give it to Kamara, I think, in space a lot. It's going to be a big part of the game plan. So give me Kamara over 22.5 receiving yards.
All right, we'll take that as long as it helps us cover. Last week, what did I do? Oh, I lost with Trevor Lawrence anytime touchdown. It was terrible. Anytime. If that game had gone 7 hours, it wouldn't have hit the anytime. Anytime, any time zone, didn't matter. But I'm going to bounce back here. Derrick Henry over 90.5 rushing yards against the Bears here. Their defense has been great overall. I think they have 11 interceptions, which is tied or close to all their entirety of last year. But the run defense, not so hot. 31st in yards per carry, allowed 5.3, and 32nd in rush yards before contact. That's not where you want to be against Derrick Henry. He showed some signs of 2024 Derrick Henry. Remember that guy? 122 yards against the Rams. That was before the bye. Now a lot less pressure on him as we move on from Cooper Rush to Lamar Jackson. So give me over 90.5. Do you see a good Derrick Henry game?
I'm fascinated by this game. I mean, the line, it's funny because the market
Yeah.
still loves Baltimore.
We almost took this, right? This
Yeah,
was
we did.
this is last team out for us,
Probably.
107. Yeah.
I mean, Chicago has forced a turnover on a quarter of their possessions this year.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most ridiculously unsustainable metric I've ever heard. Even the guy at the bar last night who took my quesadilla order, he was a Bears fan,
Oh.
and he was so excited about them being, winning 4 in a row. He's fully bought in. He's all drinking the Caleb mania.
Hmm.
He's like, I haven't felt this good about a Bears quarterback in forever. And I turned to Ruiz and I said, that's a sell signal. So we're probably
Ruiz is like, oh, that's coincidentally, I have him third best quarterback in the NFL, Caleb Williams. Wow, that's good.
So I think it's a good time to sell the Bears. I do like Baltimore, but I think if they win, it'll be from ahead, and they're probably going to try to protect Lamar a little bit.
Right.
They're probably not going to run him as much. So Henry
Some of these, I know you don't like playing the teasers, but
Baltimore is a good teaser.
Baltimore seems good. All right, so let's stay away from Cincinnati Jets because we have the Jets plus the points. But Bills should beat the Panthers for God's sakes. The Patriots
Andy
should beat
Dalton?
the Browns. All of these are
Pats
like
is a
7
good teaser
points.
too. I think the teaser of the week is Pats Ravens.
And like you got the Eagles if you want them to
I don't
not
trust
get
the
swept
Eagles.
by the Giants. Yeah, but
Don't
I
try.
know
The
what
Eagles'
you're saying.
offense is so Jekyll and Hyde. Patriots to me like Gabriel on the road.
Right. The one
problematic.
that's weird to
And they
me
can't run the
is
ball. You can't run on New England either.
do either the Jets, you could convince me that either the Jets or the Dolphins win this week.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you what's the upset of the week because the stat that I had was 8 of the 12 games this weekend are at least a 6.5 point spread. It's a pretty shitty Sunday.
Yeah. So someone's getting crushed though, right?
Somebody's going to blow it. Who blows it?
Maybe
I
it's
had
the
Buffalo
Saints.
circled, and I had the Bengals circled, and I had maybe the Falcons.
Listen, if Andy Dalton, who Ruiz has as 6th best quarterback in the NFL, if he could beat the struggling Bills at this point, I mean, that defense can't be that bad. I don't know. Off the
Panthers
bye.
can run it though.
Yeah.
Your guy
I
Dowdle.
guess. Yeah, I know. I had a couple dowdles last week in his performance. All right, let's yeah, you know what? I would say either Jets or Dolphins. That's my bold take that one of them
Well,
is
the Dolphins
win.
offense has been good most of the season.
Right.
They had one bad game in bad weather.
The
everybody's like,
intangible is the clubhouse. Have they just quit on that coach? Have they just quit on that quarterback? Has the quarterback quit on the coach? Like that just like when they come out lifeless, you kind of can throw all the stats out. You know what I
right.
mean?
But 2 weeks ago, they almost beat the Chargers.
Sure. Yeah. There you go. All right, listen. Let's take a break. And I want to talk to you, the Ringer Gambling Show. You might know this already. Brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel's turning up the heat every Sunday with Power Hour. Every Sunday from 3 to 5 Eastern, FanDuel is giving you a profit boost to use on live bets during the most intense stretch of the NFL slate. This is when games flip, underdogs rally, parlays hit. Oh boy, which one's going to come down to the wire this week, Dabbundo? Well, I would say all 5 of our 107 picks. That's what FanDuel's asking me. Which one? I would say Dolphins, Falcons, actually, not one of our 107. I think that comes down to the wire. Which one do you think is going to stand out in Power Hour?
I'm going to go Texans Niners. Sheila and I did the unwatchables draft. And I took the Texans with the first pick.
Okay.
Because they're just so unwatchable every week.
You're going to have to watch now. We can get a W out of them.
Yeah, it might be 8-6 in the fourth quarter.
Wow. All right.
When CJ Stroud leads a game-winning field goal drive and Houston wins by 1, and we don't.
Let me tell you something. They thrive during Power Hour. That's all you go. It's called Power Hour for a reason. It happens every Sunday only on FanDuel. Head to FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. You must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in is required. The bonus issued as a non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right, let's do some college here. 3 favorites to win this whole thing. Ohio State plus 260 now. Alabama plus 650, Indiana plus 850. Dabbundo, you notice who's not in there? Miami, gone, kicked to the curb.
What a
Good
shame.
job by you. Good job by you taking
Beck
Louisville.
is the favorite for Heisman, right?
Yeah, it was interesting watching his live odds go down for Heisman from what was he, 6-1 or 360, and then 6-1, and then you just really had to scroll forever to find him.
With every interception he threw in that game.
Everyone. Ty Simpson's now the favorite for Alabama, plus 330. Fernando Mendoza for Indiana, also plus 330. I should say they're co-favorites. And then Julian Sayin, who I told Tate a couple weeks ago at 13-1, this guy's still going to get some prime moments on TV. And even though it's not as big a win as you would think, if he beats Michigan, he's going to be right in there. There you go. Now he's down to 4-1.
Indiana, right?
That's Indiana. Right. No, they don't play them.
But
they don't play them. In the championship. Yeah, so there's still like talk about when people put their votes in. But I think you're supposed to hold on to them before that championship game, right? Do we know anyone who has a vote? Does Van have a vote?
I know a guy who has a vote.
Yeah. Ask him when he votes. He does wait. All right.
Yeah.
I wonder if most people wait. I think it depends on what a runaway it is. And now this week, SEC, just like every game, there's going to be coin flip matchups, 3 of them probably until December. That's the difference between the SEC and the Big Ten, where we already know. Dabbundo and I are already talking. It's going to be Ohio State, Indiana. No question about it.
Unless
no,
Michigan beats Ohio State again.
Oh, yeah. All right. I guess so. I mean, nothing would have been more surprising than the bad Michigan team that beat them last year. So, but this SEC is kind of where it's at. Oklahoma minus 5.5 against Ole Miss at home. I like all the road teams in these matchups. Vandy 2.5 home against Missouri, and Texas A&M minus 2.5 on the road at LSU. I like Ole Miss. I like Missouri, and I like Texas A&M. I don't know that that's going to happen. Our 3 bets, including Heifetz, went 3-0 last week. Dabbundo, you won with Missouri. And
we had Louisville too.
And Louisville also. Yeah, that's right. That was the Friday game. Yeah.
So we're just college guys now. So next week.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what it is? We should have done the college Ringer 107.
Oh, that's right. We would be winning that. Would it be 107? I guess it's no, it would be 5 games a week for 12 week out of 13. I don't know.
The Ringer 60, the Ringer
65. 6-7. Oh, that would have hit. That would have caught on immediately. All right, give us your pick there.
I'm going to go with Arkansas minus 2.5 at home against Auburn. The Puppeteer is back for another week. I love betting against this Auburn team. They're hilarious. I don't know if you saw the game against Missouri last week. I was following it on the plane.
Yeah.
Every time I just kept getting notification. The kicker has missed a field goal. The kicker has missed a field goal. The kicker overtime. The kicker missed a field goal. He missed 3 kicks. So clearly the special teams is a problem. that will matter in a close game. And they're on the road. I know how bad Arkansas is. I get it. But this Auburn team is a corpse. They're walking dead. Their offense stinks. Maybe they find some success here because Arkansas can't tackle anybody. But I'm going to go Woo Pig Suey at home, laying less than a field goal. Market's moved here. We've taken some sharp money. When I put it in Wednesday's show, we didn't get to college football Wednesday, but they were minus 110. Now they're minus 2.5. So I'm under 3. We're good. And as I say every week, the Temple Owls are 6-1 against the spread this year. Casey Keeler, we're laying 5.5 at Tulsa. Just saying, maybe a little wager on the Owls as well.
All right.
Every week, Owls. Hoot, hoot.
Hey, we're college guys. You're right. We can't lose in these picks. So jump on. I won who did I have? Georgia Tech last week. That was fairly easy. Arch Manning, under 220.5 passing yards versus Mississippi State. His passing yards is still way too high. It really is. He's gone under this number in the last 2 games, in 3 of his last 5. He gets off to a slow start every game. So if he could do first quarter under passing yards or first half, that's it. But how many times do we need to see it? 40, 50 yards passing at the half. And the difference is they should still have the lead in this one and not need to throw in the second half after what's probably going to be a slow Arch Manning start. Mississippi State, pass defense, not awful, top 40 in the land. They allow 186 passing yards at home. They've seen some more effective quarterbacks than Arch Manning and held them in check. Marcel Reed for A&M, 180. As good as A&M has been. Sam Levitt from ASU, 82 yards. So let's all celebrate Arch's shortcomings here. Under 220.5 yards. There you go. Arch Manning. Is this the week he steps up and crushes me? Mississippi State?
I think I said this. I feel like I've been led astray, hoodwinked, and run amok by all the Arch Manning propaganda in the offseason.
Yeah.
I was ready to buy in. He's a Manning. He's
get
royalty.
it back. Buy out. 220.5.
I've already lost. I don't have any stock left. I have no shares.
We have Joe Carter coming up in a second, but let's do some handy clipping. I'm going to show you a clip and we're going to set odds accordingly. And here is Al Michaels calling for the over. I can't believe he did this. I mean, he's never before. No, he always does this, and I love it. He's calling for the over in the game last night between who the hell played?
The Chargers.
The Chargers. Here we go.
Normally, a game like this, you think it is over, but it's not quite over. You know what I mean? Well, why not? I'll be punished again. Yeah. What can I tell you?
I mean,
It's close to being over, but
it's really interesting.
I don't want to call it over with 3 minutes to go, right?
Never. No, it's really interesting where we are right now.
Yes, we are. Sometimes you never know when that half will destroy you. Patterson.
God bless Al Michaels. Now, with everything that was going on with the gambling scandal and everything, I'm going to put the odds at plus 190 that he got reprimanded for mentioning gambling during sports betting's darkest day in 100 years. We'll run our ads and everything else because we have to. But Al, let's pretend we don't have anything to do with this. You take it plus 190 or did they leave Al alone?
I'm going to go minus 250. No, they didn't bother Al.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
Left him
so.
alone.
I mean, at this point, like we're only a few years away from AI Al calling these games.
Ooh.
This is it's been a tough year for Al Michaels, I feel like, on the broadcast. But yesterday was a throwback gambling day.
Yeah.
Because we had Al Michaels making not so veiled references to the spread and the point total. We had the mafia rigging games. I mean, we haven't seen this since Tony Soprano.
Right.
Really. And I'm not saying I want to hand it to the mafia because you don't have to hand it to the mafia, but they're back. They haven't had a moment like this in years. When La Costa Nostra gets mentioned on Twitter, I'm like, wait, what? So shout out to
Luis
them.
has John Gotti the fifth as his 14th best quarterback in the NFL. That's how you know the mob is back. Good job by the mob.
Rigged card games, poker scandals, and somebody owes somebody money. I mean, it's just old school. Yeah, you don't hear about them. And they're into crypto. Who knew? What would Tony Soprano have thought about cryptocurrency?
Bullshit. I don't know about that. Can you buy Gabagool with the crypto? I don't think you can at Satriel's. Oh, you're a big Sopranos guy?
Yeah.
How did they make money off the executive game, the card game?
I still haven't figured that part out yet.
because they have their own guys playing in it, right? So
Right.
the rake, I guess, for every hand you're gonna, I don't know, if every hand costs $100 total for the table, I guess if these are going 17, 18 hours, but is that a real thing? Like that's
Well, they got the guy Davey Scatino to show up, right? And then
Yeah,
they took
yeah,
his
yeah.
store.
sure,
So
exactly.
maybe
But
they
it
made
seemed
more
like there
money
was
off of
only
that.
2 guys they could actually get money from. There was the doctor and I don't know, a Frank Sinatra Jr. every now and then, you know. LT played in the game. I don't know how it
Chauncey
works.
Billups was there for that was the later season.
Yeah, that's right. Chauncey Billups that was the Wire when they crossed over the Wire and the Sopranos. That's what that was. Yeah, I don't get it. Like when Silvio's losing his head, you know, like I'm not sure. Like I don't how that goes. Someone needs to explain that to me.
You
I'm a
like
dumb.
cheese at your feet when you play poker? That's an all-time
Fucking
scene.
playing which Hazel over here. I love that. All right, one more handy clipping here. This is a young Jet fan responding to a question about being a Jets fan. Run it, Mikey Meatballs.
See them and get your thoughts on the game.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like, I hate this team.
Oh God. Oh, this poor fucking kid. This poor kid. I felt for him, honestly. Whatever, Jet fans, fireman Ed. I don't care. Whatever. He's fine. He'll be okay. But this kid knows what he's up against for the next however many years and what he's already endured as a Jets fan. I'm gonna put plus 230 odds that he ends up taking snaps behind center this year for his beloved Jets. That's how bad it's gotten for the Jets. What do you think?
I think it's worth a flyer. Yeah,
Okay.
it might be worth a flyer. What I'll say about this is, and you know, we love sports, right? We root for traditionally in the last 10 years pretty mediocre teams that have
Right.
not given us a ton to root for, especially in the playoffs. When this kid turns 21, I don't know how old he is. This is why he needs to be introduced to gambling responsibly, of course. But you know, if you're a fan of a bad team,
Right.
is it really fun to sit down every Sunday and watch them stink? You watch these other teams, and you're like, wow, I wish my team was this good. It's not that actually that much fun. And really, sports should be about fun. And if you do it responsibly, you throw a couple wagers down, you watch with, you know, your friend, your cousin Sal, you watch with JJ on a Sunday, and you're sitting there watching the game, and you're all cheering. Now you have something to root for. The Jets aren't giving him anything to root for.
I'm with you. I've often said if I had known, if you could have told the 7-year-old me that, look, you don't have to have a favorite team. You're going to be in so many pools. You're going to be in so many fantasy leagues. You're going to be betting so much money on these games. You don't need the extra headache of rooting for a shitty team with a shitty owner who makes shitty decisions all the time. Now, would people tune into me and Simmons as much after the Cowboys blew a 15-point lead on Sunday night? Maybe not. I don't know. But just as far as like, I don't know, I think it would add years to my life had I not rooted for the Cowboys. I'm being honest about that. I really am.
I believe it.
There's
I
a
feel
lot.
that way sometimes. I
There's a
still have
lot.
my fandom, right? I still have the teams I root for. It is part of who I am. But I'm also not afraid to bet against them because I'm going to be like, you know what? More times than not, they will let me down. Except the
Trade
Phillies.
your fandom for FanDuel. That should be that's our freaking motto. That's what they want us to do, right? Hey, I have Joe
I'm not doing
Carter on. No, we're not doing that. Joe Carter famously walked off the 93 World Series against the Phillies. I talked to him about that. What do you put greatest home run in World Series history?
Freddie Freeman has to be up there, right?
It's pretty great. Didn't walk it off. There's only been 2 walk-offs. It was Joe Carter and Bill Mazeroski in 60.
Well, it was game
Pirates.
1, right? So, yeah.
Which one? Yeah, Freddie
Freeman last
Freeman's
year.
was game 1. Yeah.
Right.
Poor Mikey Meatballs was at that. So, but I put those in, those are 3. I put Gibson's home run in there. You know, he's a cripple walking up to the plate. And then I think it's too early for you, but Reggie's, I'll say his 3rd home run against the Dodgers in that crazy 3 home run game. But maybe Ohtani just changes that all this week. Either way, Dabbundo, let's hear it. Me, Joe Carter. Here it is. All right, our next guest was a 5-time All-Star, a 2-time Silver Slugger winner, and thanks to one of the most famous home runs of all time, propelling the Toronto Blue Jays to their 2nd World Series title, he is worshipped by Canadians more than maple syrup-covered poutine, and also worshipped by me for making Phillies fans cry. Happy to have him, the great Joe Carter. What's happening, Joe?
Hey, Sal, how you doing? Poutine and maple syrup? Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
I haven't had that combination, but as I was thinking it through, it's probably pretty good. Not bad. Why not, right?
Yeah, I haven't had that much of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maple syrup on my French fries. I don't know about that.
Maybe we're on to something. Maybe not. I want to get to your Blue Jays and their matchup with the Dodgers in a second, but let's talk about this home run in 93. I know you hate discussing it. Will you just humor me for a minute?
Oh,
Would you-
okay.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
there is possibly nothing that has not been said in the last
I
32
know.
years about that home run. And what I tell people, Sal, is, I did hit more than one home run in my career.
I know. And it's funny because even at the end, sportscaster Tom Cheek's call of it, like, touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life. You must have been like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I have a few more ABs here. I can but maybe. Why you count me out just yet? But what I wanted to discuss is you were born in Oklahoma, right?
Yes, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and then I think you went to Wichita State. You're in Kansas now. And
Correct.
years later, you're beloved by many, many millions in a foreign land. Did you ever think this was possible growing up in the Midwest?
Okay, Sal, let me give you a little trivia, okay? So here's how it all comes full circle, okay? So now it took a Oklahoman to bring Canada its first World Series championship, 1993, okay?
Right.
Now, it took a Canadian to bring Oklahoma City its first world championship
Oh, wow.
of any kind, okay, with SGA.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, yeah.
And it was on the street, Joe Carter Avenue.
Wow.
So there it is.
That's nuts. That is really crazy.
That's something you don't know right there.
Yeah. Now, was that like a pay it forward thing? Did you like go to SGA's parents and be like, hey, he's got to do something for us now. We did something for you guys.
Well, no, I didn't go to his parents, but
okay.
I'm glad they did, because I tell you what, Oklahoma City, it was starving for a championship. And man, what they did last year was tremendous.
One more thing about this home run. So I just want to set the stage for anyway, because I have some young viewers. I think I have like 3 young viewers, but
okay.
You're up 3-2, 3 games to 2 versus the Phillies. Bottom of the 9th, you're down 6-5 in the game. Mitch Williams, people don't give you enough credit because this was as scary and intimidating a bastard as you could find in a relief pitcher. He had 43 saves that year. He was only 180 pounds, if I remember, but a lot of power behind those pitches, and you just turned on one. Is that the happiest, rounding those bases, is that the happiest anyone could ever be?
Let me think. Yes.
Yeah.
Did I look like a little kid, about 7, 8 years old, playing in his backyard? Yes, Al. I mean, that situation, coming to the plate, I had not faced Mitch in probably 5 or 6 years. I think I saw, because I only know this because they put it on the screen, TV screen. I was 0 for 4 against Mitch. I don't even remember my 4 at-bats against Mitch, because I didn't face him in game 4, that 15-14 ball game.
Right.
Because I led off the 8th inning. So I was one of the guys that started those huge rallies. So not facing him, Mitch can be effectively wild. And everybody knows, I have a great eye at the plate. I take a lot of walks. No, I don't. I swing the bat. I'm a very, I'm a bad ball hitter. So Cito Gasson always told us to go to the plate and have an idea, have a plan. And so first and second, first of all, I was mad at Ricky Henderson. God rest his soul. I was mad at him because he didn't go from first base to third base on the base hit by Paul Molitor. And he was supposed to be one of the fastest guys in baseball.
Sure.
So now I got to get a base hit to score Ricky. And so I go to the plate and I'm like, okay, I haven't faced him in a while. I know he's wild. So I'm going to take until I get a strike. Okay. That was my plan. I said, I'm not going to swing until I get a strike, because I wanted to put the pressure on him. And, I didn't want to go up there and just, make an out or swing at a bad pitch when the count was in my favor. So, and because I was looking breaking ball, everything slowed down. I had all my weight back. And when he threw the fastball down and in, that was my power zone, because I'm a low ball hitter. And because I was looking breaking ball, I was able not to pull it into the third base dugout, because Sal, there are people out there who played against me, and they were in the third base dugouts. And when I came to the plate, they all went inside. They moved because I could turn a fastball around. And I could hit a few people in the dugout.
Right.
And that was the only reason why I kept that ball fair, because I was looking or waiting for the breaking ball. And when I made contact, kept my head down, I looked up, all I saw was the bank of left field lights. That's why I was jumping up and down, so I could see where the ball was going. And, once I saw Pete Incaviglia kind of turn around, because I knew, he couldn't jump over the fence to catch it.
Right.
It was hysteria. And as I was jumping up and down, I stopped jumping so I could touch all the bases. And so I asked Tom Cheek, I said, how did you come up with that? What were you thinking? He said, Joe, I saw you jumping up and down. And I was like, don't miss first base, touch all the bases. So he was thinking that, and I was thinking that at the same time.
That's so funny. That's amazing. Yes, well, it can't get better than that. It just can't. And poor Mitch Williams, he figured into that 15-14 loss, right? So he had something to prove, right? I think he was getting threats and everything else to go along with it, all the terrible stuff. But wow, what a win. And so, I'm going to ask you honestly, when you see someone like Freddie Freeman hit a grand slam off the Yankees, and people were saying last year in the World Series, and people saying that's the greatest World Series home run ever, does that piss you off a little bit?
Honestly, nah, it
yes,
doesn't.
yes.
No, here's the thing, okay? The home run Freddie Freeman hit, I'm watching the game. I ran it back and watched it like about 30 times. Because it was just that awesome. And I'm a fan of the game. What I did was great, but this is here and now. And for him to come in, injured, hobbling, it wasn't game 6. It wasn't the closeout game.
Right.
It wasn't the greatest home run in World Series history. No, you can't top what Mazeroski and I did, because it's only happened twice in the game.
You guys walked it off, right?
Yeah,
you ended the series.
It was what we call busting 45. And
right. There you go.
That's it. So, but was it one of the best home runs I've ever seen? Oh man, it gave me chills to watch that.
All right, so we'll go you and Mazeroski 1A and 1B. Maybe Kirk Gibson ahead of Freeman, or Freeman ahead of Kirk. I don't know. And Reggie's up there too. Reggie hit 3, so it's hard to even say one was better than the other. But those are our 4. Yeah.
You don't hit 3 home runs in the World Series.
Nah.
That's only been done. That's only been done one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In one game. Yep.
And Reggie is the one. In fact, here's a story about me and Reggie. So when I first met Reggie, he was with the Angels. And I was around the batting cage, and he comes up to me because I had just hit 3 home runs the day before. And he comes up to me, he says, hey, I did it when it counted. And I was like, well, Reggie, mine counted too. It just wasn't the World Series. And so, so I saw Reggie later, and I said, Reggie, all 5 of mine counted.
There you go. Right.
Times. But no, what Reggie did in the World Series in New York, that was huge. I think people will look at, because I played in Canada, they don't rate the home runs as high, as they would if I'd played for the Dodgers or for the Yankees,
the Yankees,
or the Red Sox.
Carlton Fisk, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
It would undoubtedly be the number 1 home run, but I can live at where they put it.
I'm with you on that. Good job. You could fight Reggie for the Mr. October title. But let's talk about Canada for a second. I know they don't recognize Mount Rushmore in Canada, but if there was a Mount Rushmore of Toronto athletes, it's you, it's Vlad Jr., it's Vince Carter, and I guess Gretzky. Didn't play for the Maple Leafs, but I know he's beloved. Is that the 4? Or am I missing Doug Flutie, Donovan Bailey? I don't know.
Well, Gretzky's all over Canada.
Yeah.
We live in an era where we saw the greatest basketball player, and I'm sticking with Michael Jordan, the greatest hockey player, Wayne Gretzky. We got a chance to see all that,
Right.
And the Mount Rushmore, oh man, that's tough, because what is happening now in Canada, it's not just all about hockey now. You've got some great basketball players coming out, a lot of great baseball players,
Yep.
football players. I mean, it has just been cultivating there. And now it's not just a hockey country anymore.
Sure.
Kids are out there and say, no, I'm just playing baseball. I'm playing basketball. And
Right.
so yeah, but
It's still you. You're still
yeah,
on there. You still have to be top four.
What Kawhi did. Kawhi
Yeah.
he's
I was thinking of him too. Right.
Yeah, he's got a chance to be on there too.
Right. All right. Listen, speaking of big playoff home runs, not as impactful quite as your 3-run homer, but still a 3-run homer. Pretty great for George Springer in front of the home crowd to help the Jays advance to the World Series. Blue Jays are a sizable underdog to the defending champ Dodgers because the starting pitching has just been lights out, right? Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani, Glasnow even. Now Sasaki comes in as a dominant closer. If these Blue Jays hitters asked you for advice going up against these LA starters who, like I said, been dominant, what would you offer them?
Well, the thing is, Sal, the series is over with. The Blue Jays have no chance. They have no chance to beat those mighty Dodgers and their $100 billion payroll. I don't even think we're going to even show up. Okay. We're just going to go out there. In fact, if they win game 1, we're just going to quit right there.
Wow. You're being sarcastic. I know you are.
Definitely, yeah. No, let them. All the naysayers are saying the Dodgers, because, they've got a great pitching staff. They've got a great team. And they have some of the best pitchers as far as swings and misses. Okay. Mm-hmm. The Blue Jays don't swing and miss too much.
Right.
Okay? So now you're talking about, a team that has nothing to lose. I would tell them, look, there's 28 teams at home watching you guys play for the World Championship. Okay. They would love to be here. So you don't have to worry about what's going to happen the next series. It's all about right here, right now. Enjoy the moment. Don't make the moment too big, but go out there and do exactly what you've been doing. And what they've been doing is it's been a different person every night. Who knows? I mean, the shortstop Jimenez, he comes up, hit two home runs, 3-run homers, in games 3 and 4 out of nowhere. Ernie Clement, who's been hitting the ball from right field line, left field line, top of the wall, George Springer, Vlad Guerrero, and, MVP. It has been not just one person, it's the whole lineup. And John Smoltz said it best. He said, these guys, they put the ball in play. And when you put the ball in play, a lot of pressure on the defense. So, even though we don't have a chance, watch the Jays, because, hey, you take us lightly and, it could be a different story.
Absolutely. All right, listen. So you're picking the Jays to win this, obviously. I want to give you a free bet. I want to give you a free bet for coming on. I know you're very busy this week. It could be an MVP bet. I mean, you can go Vlad at plus 600 at 6-1 odds, or Springer at 10-1 odds. Your beloved Chiefs, I'll let you go off the board if you want and take the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. That'll take a minute to pay off, but which one you going with? I'm giving you a free wager.
I got to go with my Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
I got to go with my Chiefs. You're talking about that? Oh no, the Chiefs all the way. I love the Blue Jays, and I think they will win it. I don't know who's going to be the MVP. That's tough, because Bo Bichette is supposedly coming back.
Right.
I mean, they've got a lot. They don't have that one guy, but when you talk about football, Kansas City, we gave everybody a chance. We were 0-2. We were buried. And now look at us now. So no, I'm gonna take that Kansas City bet, baby.
All right, I'm gonna give it to you. You know what that tells me? You're not that confident in the Blue Jays. That's exactly what it tells me. No,
it doesn't tell. No, that's not true. But
I gotcha.
Yeah, but the Blue Jays in 7.
Okay, Blue Jays in 7. I'm giving you $100 to win $550 on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I mean, they got to get there again. It's ridiculous what they do. They're like 4-3. I'm like, well, you might as well just count everybody out again. How do you do it? How do they get there every year?
Because they got 1-5. When you have 1-5 and you have Andy Reid, you go back and look at the dynasty the Patriots had. What was the main component? You know, they talk about maybe it was Belichick. No, it was Tom Brady. Right. And it showed when he went to Tampa and what happened after, he left New England. So no, it's all about 1-5 because he makes everybody better, and he is a dog. He's a gamer. He is. Yeah, you can't bet against him.
Joe Carter, one of the very greats, and he's going to feel great when I have to write him a check for $550 mid-February when the Chiefs win their 14th Super Bowl, for crying out loud. Thanks for coming on, Joe. I appreciate it.
All right, Sal, have a good one, and go Jays, go.
All right, that'll do it for another episode of the Ringer Gambling Show. For Anthony Dabbundo, Danny Heifetz, and the great Joe Carter, I'm Sal saying so long, and may your parlays be prosperous. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. You must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York in New York.